Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you for joining us. We happen to be on location at La Casita Restaurant and Lounge, which is along in Tindatu Road. Today I'm really excited because I get to chat with someone who's here in Uganda doing some pretty amazing things, and he has a story behind him. He is the founder of Africa's Next Young Millionaire. He's the CEO of Modern Floors. He is a winner of Africa's 40 Under 40 in the category of, I think, home decor, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And there's so much more. He has written a book called Dream Bigger. I do have Basil, David Anthony, joining me on the show.
Thank you. I'm
Hello,
excited.
hello.
I've heard a lot about you.
Eh?
I'm
Good
excited.
things?
Oh, positive things.
Yay! Gotta be good things.
Yeah.
So you are Ghanaian,
Yes, but
born and bred.
I like to refer to myself as a cocktail because half Ghanaian. My father is British Cypriot.
Okay, so you're mixed.
Yeah.
Do you have like a term for that back home?
In Ghana, they call it half caste.
Like here
Do you
also.
call it the same? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, but now
Some people
now,
say hybrid these days. I'm like,
now I think the world is gravitated towards mixed race.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I think in maybe the next 100 years or so, we'll hardly find anyone
We
who's...
are going to have a big identity problem in the few years to come because now the question is, where are you from? Where are you from?
Where are you from?
Yeah, you've seen those TikTok videos because especially in the when you're in a foreign land, I'm African American. Oh, you trace your bloodline to where's your heritage? So now the question is, what's your nationality? What's your heritage?
Yeah.
Can you imagine another 100 years to come? Like you said, it's going to be very complicated.
There people actually really go and want to trace like their genetic line and everything. Would you
yeah.
do that? Would you
Oh
consider
no,
it?
I mean for me, I know. I mean, mine even goes further to the extent that the Cypriots originate from Greece. So my father is Greek Cypriot. So then that's another one step.
So
again.
you said British Cypriot.
Because British is nationality. It's not heritage.
So he's kind of Greek, but
So he's Cypriot British, Cypriot by blood, but Greek by origin. And then now he tapped into my mother and through me. You're having a problem.
have you eaten katogo here in Uganda?
No, but now that you mentioned it, I must try.
I'm going to say you're a bit of like a katogo, because a katogo is like when you put different things together and you cook a mix of things together.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have been an entrepreneur since you were 20 years old?
I would say I've been an entrepreneur since I was born.
Okay.
It's always been in my blood. I've always seen opportunity in everything I look at, and I've always found a way to make it profitable. But obviously, it manifested better when I was in high school.
Okay.
When I would see clubs and organizations have a need for maybe printing T-shirts, making certificates, hosting events, bringing artists to high school, and then I would say, oh, I can do it.
You were doing that in high school?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were having a pretty colorful life back then.
Pretty much, yes.
Were you getting in trouble?
Of course. There's no way in the world you're going to be this daring and don't ever catch a case. I mean, that's the term, right? You have to catch a case. So I had my few share of troubles in high school.
Was high school in Ghana?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I did all my schooling in Ghana.
Okay.
It was a good thing because it helped me build a good network back home, and that's where I'm from. Yeah, so yeah, I caught a few cases, but the positives were better than the negatives.
And you said like even when you got older, you kept on in the entertainment space.
Exactly, because entertainment has always been part of me. I've always been daring, outgoing. I've been in the club since I was a teenager, to the extent that I even got to a point I started hosting club events.
Did you ever try to do music yourself?
Off the record, I know they're filming this, but I think everybody in the entertainment space who is not a musician is a disappointed musician. And take this from me, I've actually spoken to politicians who are currently big names. I'm not even going to say their names, but off the record, they will drop a few 16 bars for me.
Yes, there's always a dream in there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Okay, all right.
But then life begins to evolve. You begin to take your path. And then my main business was technology. Because when after high school, I went to London to work because home wasn't that financially stable.
Okay.
And I just couldn't see my mom always struggling. So I wanted to support. So went to London, worked for 2 years. realized I can't stay in that system forever. It's going to take everything I've ever made. So I hit the exit button.
A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah,
they
have
look
to.
forward to that life, but they don't realize it's so expensive.
Yeah.
What you have left over sometimes.
Yes, and there's a tipping point. When you get to that point, you need to remember that you got there with nothing. It's like gambling. It's like going to a casino. I don't gamble. You came in the casino with zero. You probably made 1K. Leave. Because then the next what's going to happen now is that 1K is going to go back in the system. So
That's
I left.
the beginner's luck that a lot of people get confused by.
Exactly. So I left, went back to Ghana. Unfortunately, my mom passed away with breast cancer. So it was quite a difficult period. I was 20 years of age.
Oh.
I struggled to get over that period. Thank you. And then I started my first company, which was an IT company, Silky IT Production.
So that was the first company you started at 20?
Yes, that was the first official company. The
like
rest were
properly
all-
registered
yes,
and...
of course. Now we're growing. We need to do everything by the book.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was IT.
Yes.
And it sounds like a lot of what you did was leveraging that particular skill that you had, that
Yeah.
space.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have only started getting into the digital space in the last, 10, 15 years? Let's say even less than 10 years when we look at Africa, right? But you were able to see opportunity there.
Yeah. I mean, thanks to my mother, at the age of 10 years, I learned hardware.
Oh.
It wasn't being taught in my school, but it was like extra classes she would pay for me to get hold of. So technology has always been embedded in my DNA from childhood.
Okay.
So everything I've ever done, every business, even with events, I had a big Sunday party called Chicken and Beer in Ghana for 2 years. It was actually built off BBM. Gen Zs would not probably know what BlackBerry is today, but me and you, we remember BBM.
BlackBerry Mobile.
Yes, and we will create BBM broadcasts groups. Those days there were no limitations on how many people you could add in a group, and we'll start broadcasting. That's how we built the party. So it was always, everything I've ever done has always had a technology-driven foundation underneath it somewhere.
And even that's still, even now.
Still till today. I preach technology everywhere I go. I might not be in the forefront of technology, but technology is making whatever I do efficient.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on AI then?
It's a good question you just asked because I'm actually giving a presentation 2 days at the Uganda BuildCon on AI with flooring finishes. So I just did a write-up yesterday. AI is brilliant, but AI needs to be, you need to use it to a certain limit because else you're just going to have a lot of people plagiarizing, a lot of things becoming the same, and it's just going to be like copy and paste. So you need to choose which levels of AI you stop at, where AI will benefit you, and then where you need to attach authenticity and being organic. You need to have a blend.
So you should use it to enhance what you're doing.
Save time, but
Be
don't...
more efficient,
Yes.
but not rely on it
Yes.
completely.
And also don't forget, AI is self-taught by inputs from humans.
Yes.
So AI could be misleading. So you also need to check AI. You also need to just don't look at what AI outputs you and assume that then that's the best option. You need to also double proofread AI.
That's a good reminder
Yeah.
because a lot of people have this impression that, AI will do everything for us.
No.
That, eventually we're just going to sit back.
No.
But it's driven by human
And the
direction.
chances of AI, I had this conversation with a friend in London this year. The chances of AI also, the same way we humans can be polluted and we can become evil, AI is just a mirror of us. So it means that, look at now, you're hearing music, AI being used to generate music from top artists, and
Yes.
it wasn't even them.
That's a bit crazy though,
Yes,
eh?
Scammers are using AI to fake your voice, to call your parents, and solicit for funds maybe, and pretend as if you are in some dying need.
Man.
So now you see the
That's
negative.
some really sophisticated crime.
Exactly. So just like anytime the world evolves, countries just need to start looking for ways to police and policy it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they have no
and we're
choice.
still light years away from figuring out how to really make it work for us. Because like you said, human beings can use whatever is out there for the good or the bad. So you're doing a talk on AI, you said.
Yes, AI in connection with flooring finishes.
Okay.
It's just a 20-minute thing, but it's good.
So that's the company that you're an exhibitor.
Yes, modern floors, after all the IT, after all the events, ticketing, that whole business series was like a decade landscape. After that, I felt the need to evolve. I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I just started traveling and then started looking for other opportunities because these previous businesses were all service related. And I was feeling like the service related businesses were hitting a certain saturation point, and I wanted to play more in the product
You're
business.
looking at the product
Yes,
space.
so I played with a few things, but finally ended up in flooring. And now flooring is what has gotten me here today.
Okay.
Flooring is what has given me a lot of accomplishments, achievements. It grew very fast in Ghana, had 4 showrooms, a warehouse, moved to Dubai to headquarter it, and now in Africa trying to get it to be franchised and distribute in other African countries.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you are exhibiting at the Building and Construction Expo.
Yes.
That's happening. Where will it be?
So it's going to be at the UMA Showgrounds. It's from 8 to 10th August. And then, Modern Floors will be exhibiting there. We'll be showing to the construction fraternity, to real estate, people in the real estate sector, to just everyone, our product lines and why they should start adopting our flooring. Because we deal in PVC and SPC tiles. And these are not your conventional ceramic, porcelain, marble tiles. These are tiles made from plastic, but they look exactly like wood. I actually have a catalog here of our current series.
Because that's one of the biggest challenges for many people with wooden flooring is they're like,
Problem is that wooden flooring, first of all, is not waterproof.
And to get it treated to a level
it needs treatment, it needs a lot of maintenance, and it's very expensive. However, this is I don't want to use the word cheap, but very affordable. Very affordable compared to all types of flooring available, and you still get the same
like
wooden.
The rose brown.
Yes, yeah. Most of the tiles are named after my kids. Yes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm serious.
Okay, how many kids do you have? Maybe
5.
I should ask that.
I have 5 kids.
Okay, so
like something like Zari Brown.
yes,
one of my twins is called Zari.
Zari.
Yeah.
Zion.
Zion is my son.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is
You would see Tari Brown. Tari is
Tari?
my daughter too.
Okay.
Rose Brown.
Marina?
No, I wanted to name a daughter Marina, but it wasn't accepted.
So, so that's a name that was. It actually makes it very personal.
Yes, it does.
I wanted to ask you, as someone who's been an entrepreneur for so many years, do you believe that, entrepreneurs are born or made?
Both.
Both.
Yeah.
Because there's some people who come from, like, in the family, there are a lot of people who've done business, and it seems to be very easy for them to get into it.
Yeah. Both, because I like to equate it to sports, especially. You take someone like, and I know some of the football fans are not going to get excited with this, but it's a fact. Take someone like Lionel Messi. He's born with it. You could probably wake him up at dawn and he'll perform. Cristiano Ronaldo, his hard work earned. If at any point of his career he backslided, he would have not been where he is today. He's had to work hard. So he's acquired.
Okay.
He's acquired with it. Even you go basketball, Jordan, born with it. Kobe Bryant, acquired. Kobe Bryant has to spend longer hours on the court just to achieve the status that some of the greatest achieved. So, and some of these great people, look at Usain Bolt. I think he's a natural.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But even if you are like naturally gifted, you still have to put in the
Of course.
work
It's
to take it to that next level.
100%. Because talent is 10%. It's just like in music, in movie, it's same with business. It's just 10%. Now you have to start putting in real effort. Now you have to start, and it gets more tricky in business because now you have to actually do realistic projections of your business ideas. Because don't forget, you are in business to be profitable. You are not there. A lot of people confuse income and profit. They're 2 different things. The fact that you're making money don't mean that you are making profit. Profit is what is left after you've taking out all your direct, indirect expenses, all your operating costs, and that's what you can comfortably say is left for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that gets tricky if you don't have a good foresight, you don't project well.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, I was watching an interview that you did online, and you were talking about some of the mistakes that people make in business.
Okay.
And you need to, number one, have a business plan,
Yeah.
and then also project
Definitely.
what your profit will be. And you
Yeah.
said you should have at least 3 different projections.
Yes.
I thought that was interesting. I'd never heard that before.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you for watching it. I didn't know you watched it. A worst case, because COVID even taught us things can go bad, right? An average case, when things don't go as you expect them, but yeah, okay, you know. And then a best case, which is what probably everybody would probably wish.
What we all want.
Yeah, that which we all want. But it should be that in all cases, you should be at least above the water.
In all cases, you should be making a
Or
profit.
maybe even if the worst case is showing over a certain period, because mind you, depending on your category of business, some the green light starts to show maybe over after a year. Not every business is structured to take off immediately, but based on that knowledge, at a point you should start seeing the graph go up. If these projections and these realistic situations are not showing you any green light, you're probably heading for disaster.
Okay. I think that's a very tough one because sometimes it's very personal as well.
But that's the reality of it.
It's a reality, but how do you know when to let go? Because there's some people who will say, like you've just said,
Yeah.
and that makes perfect sense to me, that you should be able to mark the progress.
Yeah.
With time, it should be going up.
Yeah.
But then there's some people who say, no, sometimes you just have to hang in there.
No.
And, stick it out through the bad times.
I love that because I put out a question once on my Facebook. Similar question. I was looking at the reaction of people and how people will hold on to businesses. And there's nothing wrong with knowing that something you did didn't work. And if it didn't work, it's a lesson. It gives you to your next venture, you've learned lessons. That loss, don't look at it as a loss. Don't look at it as a failure. Just look at it. I always say I went to the school of life. Yeah, because every experience, every lesson is leading me not to make that mistake or repeat that scenario again. And that's what even helps us now at this point to mentor people better. Because now when they are all caught up in it, I understand everybody gets over excited when they are dreaming big. It's great. But you need to apply reality. Yes, reality.
Okay. It's important.
We can still leave that element of spirituality and manifestation that, that miraculous thing is given. It does happen.
That's important too.
But I would rather work with the reality, and if the miracle happens, it's a plus. I would not want to solely rely on the miracle. And if it fails me, then you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I've said to people before that, no offense, but I really have an issue with the phrase, God will provide. Because that's like, okay, how exactly does that work? Either he will provide through somebody else, but it's like...
I was raised I was raised in an Anglican church. My mom is a very strong Christian. I was raised with very strong Christian values. I sometimes feel like the modern day Christianity has been repackaged and the message is what is diluted. And that's what's misleading people. Something like what you just said, God will provide. It's probably being said in the wrong context. And it's being said by people who want to take advantage of people. And they are using those statements. And true, authentic Christians are not vocal enough to correct those things.
Good point. Yeah.
So now it's made Christianity become a mockery. And it's a fact. You go everywhere, people are mocking Christianity. But that was not so when we were growing up. Because it wasn't diluted and we were not mislead, like we were not being misled.
Yeah,
like
true.
Today everybody, someone gets up, he puts out a billboard, he chooses a day to have a miracle service. Just go to the hospital and do the miracle service. You don't need a day. How difficult is that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jesus never picked a day to do a miracle service. Jesus was walking and people touch him and they get healed. He didn't even know that he was about to do a healing, did he?
Yeah. It's a
Exactly.
whole production now.
Yes. Yes. And someone lead, and this is where our leaders have to step in, because they are our fathers. Our leaders are the ones that run our countries. We citizens cannot take these matters into our own hands. They need to step into these first. Some countries do. Some countries do.
Yeah.
I know Rwanda has a very tough policy on religion.
Yes.
I know Eritrea.
Not anyone can just start a church. And
I know Eritrea has a very tough policy on religious activities. So some leaders
yeah.
actually step in here.
Okay, that's
Yeah. Because
interesting.
they are protecting their people.
No, unfortunately, church, like you said, spirituality is a very powerful thing. Religion is very important, but it shouldn't become your life. And some people make church their life or whatever it is. And I think all of us were given gifts to be able to go out there,
Exactly.
make something, you know.
The Bible itself talked about talents.
Yes,
Yeah, so obviously the Bible wasn't expecting you to sit on your,
exactly.
and expect manna to fall from heaven, because that manna only fell once.
It's interesting
Moses'
where our
era.
conversation has gone, right?
Yeah. But these are things people need to, they need to wake up to, because the last time manna fell, it fell once. Doesn't mean manna is going to fall every day.
Yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So
I don't know how long you've been in Uganda, but have you noticed we have a lot of street preachers?
no, but if you do, then it's very similar to Ghana.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted to ask if you have that as
We do,
well.
yeah.
Because now nearly every junction, corner, you'll have someone, some of them even set up speakers and they're preaching.
Are they doing
And
if
it's-
they're
like you
doing
said,
it,
that's a very modern twist too.
if they're doing it for the right reason and they're honestly being called by God, like they say, then kudos to them for what they do. But if they know in their hearts that they're doing it for personal benefits, then they tend to face the wrath of God one day. I
Eventually,
would
yeah?
not want to be there when they're getting judged. I wouldn't want to be there.
So I want to go back to that very first business that you started. You said, every business, is a lesson in a way. There are lessons to be learned. And we talked about the challenges of knowing when to let go, right? Do you believe that, let me see, any idea can work?
Yes.
Because there are people who are like, any idea can work.
Yes.
It's just a matter of, I guess, how you sell it,
Yes.
how much you believe in
It's,
it.
it's the energy and the people, the person behind it. Anything can sell.
Because we have, I feel like in every society, but here so much in Uganda, I don't know about in Ghana, people like to copy. They like to duplicate.
That's the problem.
They see someone, they've started this, and then they do the exact same thing.
You're never, you can succeed, but you will never be top tier.
Unless you come in and do it better, maybe.
You can't, unless, and that is if the person who exists in that space then becomes complacent. So those are some of those are the negatives of successful business people too that they need to look out for. Complacency is one, because don't forget, idols can become rivals. People behind you are idolizing you. They're looking up to you. Eventually, you get complacent. You begin to backslide. They will take over you, and then you become their rival. So that also can happen. But then there's nothing ever like an organic, authentic idea that you grew from scratch and then you made it big. You're always gonna be highlighted. The world will see you better.
Okay.
Yeah, for
That's
sure.
what people say. There's no idea that's ever really, truly unique.
Yes and no. It depends on how you word it. This is probably English terminology. Television, looking at visuals on your phone, using a laptop to watch a movie, watching a movie in a cinema projector is still watching visuals, but you're using it on different platforms. So you can say that the inventor of the TV, the projector, they are not unique because they are all just still, the concept is not unique. So
They're just building
I
on
would
what was
rather
there
reword
before.
that and say concepts might not be unique, but the actual product is unique.
Okay. Okay.
Because the concept you're trying to solve might not be a unique thing. Maybe whoever invented the tie, it's just fashion. Fashion is fashion. Case closed. But tie is tie. It's a product. So we need to segment and separate concept and product. Do you get it? What you're doing, you're in the digital space of media. Your concept is not new. You are in media. Media has been there forever.
Yeah.
But your products, your mediums are new.
Okay.
So it doesn't take anything away from you that you are unique. because you are unique in your product space.
Yeah.
But in concept related, no.
That's important because, again, people always say you have to find a way to differentiate yourself from others. You have to find that unique sweet spot in a way. What would you say, like, for you has been your unique trait that has made you so successful?
Well, it's just always running before I walk is probably one. I had a meeting yesterday with some partners and they were asking me some questions about my project, which is, I'm sure we'll talk about Africa's Next Young Millionaire. And the lady asked me a couple of questions. I said, can I be honest with you about something? All the questions you're asking me, I honestly haven't thought of the answers for it yet because I'm the type that was always diving in the deep end. But that is why we're having a conversation. We'll figure it out. I like to run before I walk. It's very dangerous, I'm not going to advise this to anybody out there. You need to know, understand yourself, and know what sits with you. You know, one size don't fit all in life.
Yeah.
But for me, it's always been running before I walk. And even if the initial idea is, as I begin to run, I begin to see issues with it, I just begin to tweak and evolve it. I don't jump ship. No, but all you do is you begin to evolve and find a better way to maneuver it. But you still stay, you know.
Okay, so in a way, you know the destination, you know what the goal is. You just have to figure out.
You spot on. You just hit.
But you know you're going.
Yeah,
there.
I know where I'm going. I just don't know how I'm going to get there.
Okay.
You know, people say, "What are you doing in Uganda? What's the aim? What's that?" I said, "I can tell you the broad where I'm trying to go. I can't tell you how I'm going to do it."
Because you're just breaking into the Ugandan market now,
yes,
right?
I don't know how I'll do it, but I know I will do it. And if I don't do it, there will be a takeaway from something. And what I'll take away from it will lead to the next thing. So whichever way it goes, somewhere is going to go somewhere. But it will not go somewhere if I stayed in my bedroom, would it?
Okay.
So at least the main aim here is to move. Keep moving.
And keep moving.
That's it.
All right.
Keep moving.
So your business is called Modern Floors.
Yeah.
And I was seeing somewhere that you're like, well, in Uganda, we need some help because a lot of our flooring solutions are quite outdated.
Yeah.
You stand by that?
Of course, not just Uganda, the entire Africa. We've been bombarded with a lot of bad tiles from, let me call them out, China and India, dumping a lot of rubbish on us.
Yeah,
and because it's cheap, we're using it to build. It's wearing out very fast. They are fading. They don't look good. Why? Why are we doing this to ourselves? If it's costs, that's why we are here. We want to give you a cost-efficient, good solution, long-lasting flooring.
Because most people think, when they think about tiles, and they think about, well, when people say Italian or I don't know what, imported and all these nice fancy words, the price tag is ding as well for you to get a certain kind of quality.
Yeah. And
affordable solutions, I mean, that's what we're looking for in life.
Yeah, and that's why we need to get more innovative. For example, Modern Floors tiles are reusable. So you can transfer them from one space to another space. Depending on the type you bought with the application. We have two application types of tiles. We have one that is a click lock. For that, literally when you transfer it, you only lose about 10% because obviously whilst unlocking, you can break some locks. But at least you get to save 90% of your tiles. Then when you go with our LVT, the ones that use adhesive glue to install, transferring you lose about 20-30%, but you still save about 70% of the tiles. They can easily be replaced. When one has a problem, you pick it out. Not that it's easy, but you can ply it out, replace it. Do you get me? It's not slippery. Ceramic tiles are very slippery. I stay in hotels a lot because I travel, and I keep wondering, why are hotels still using ceramic tiles?
Hotels, shopping malls,
yes,
you're going down a ramp and you're like, ah!
Yes, you get out of the bathroom and then you feel like, you know, and I'm imagining what's happening to older people. At least we are a bit steady. We can balance ourselves. But what happens to older people?
It actually is a danger.
Very big danger. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, that's why we are pushing our product, we are pushing our brand, and we are sensitizing the information so that day in, day out, 1, 2, 3 will keep changing, and eventually we'll get to the goal.
It's interesting when you say they're reusable, because even in terms of housing solutions now, for the longest time it was just the cement, the bricks, you lay down your foundation, and now people are now, you know, changing the way they look at housing. So there are options now where you can actually also, put up a building
Yes, yeah.
that is
Yeah.
built off-site, and then you can move it. And these were options that were only available abroad.
Brilliant, brilliant. These are things we should look at. We should look at. And another thing too, ours is very light. PVC tiles, a square meter weighs 5 kg. Ceramic tiles, a square meter weighs 20 kg. Quick mathematics will tell you that if a first floor covers 1,000 square meters, that's 15 tons extra. You go up 10 floors, that's 150 tons. That's the weight of a full Boeing 767 flying from Dubai to Uganda. You know what I'm saying? So you take off this weight of buildings, you are definitely going to save cost in construction, longevity of the building, and we are in the sustainable world. And these products are also reusable and they are recyclable. So even if you do have to dispose it, don't forget it's from plastic, it's PVC. It's just like your bottles. Goes back, you save the earth. Some years ago, let me be honest with you, before we got into the era of understanding the green initiative of the world, I always wanted to tell people, my tiles are recyclable, but I felt I don't think it's rubbish. you know what I'm saying?
Like you didn't know how to say it?
I didn't know how to say it some years ago because at that time the world hadn't caught on to what we were trying to.
Yes, going green now and all of
but
this.
now they do. So now I'm so comfortable to say yes, recyclable and reusable.
No, when you said sustainable, I'm like, aha, there it is. Because those are the solutions that we're looking for in the world today. So I need to know about your book, Dream Bigger.
Dream Bigger is coming off after winning 40 under 40 home and decor, I think March in Kenya. I sat on that flight feeling very unfulfilled.
Wait. You said March. This is a few months ago.
Yes. I mean, I won Young Entrepreneur of the Year in Ghana.
That was the year before.
For last year. But the most recent one was the 40 under 40 in Africa.
Africa's 40 under 40.
So I'm on the flight back to Dubai because don't forget I'm most of the time based in Dubai. And then I'm not fulfilled one bit because I'm like, all these awards are becoming meaningless. I don't actually have any in my home. I give them to my business locations just to hang them or put them. I'm not that type of person. I'm not looking for any form of validation. So I'm beginning to think that no, I need something that makes me connect. I'm getting too many messages from young entrepreneurs. They need financial help. They need advice. They need mentorship. They need guidance. Like, what we have to do something. So then I begin to think, but whatever we have to do has to be catchy. Because the youth of today are very glamorous. They're very flashy. And if the thing is not shining, it's not going to catch their attention. And if we don't find a way to bridge the gap between entrepreneurship and living a good quality life for them, they're not going to want to become entrepreneurs. So what do we do? So I said, okay, how about a reality show? Okay, Africa's Next Young Millionaire. So I picked my phone, I started to make notes. I said, let's do a reality show called Africa's Next Young Millionaire. Let's put it under my foundation. So let me create a foundation, Basil David Anthony Foundation. How would the reality show work? I'm not quite sure. That I begin to make phone calls to people. I'm like, this is what I want to do. What do you think? Then I begin to because I said, okay, we need a website for people to start registration. So then quickly we build a website, anym.global, africasnextyoungmillionaire.com.
Okay, ANYN.
.global. So now everybody's going online. We shoot a trailer. This trailer almost has about 500,000 views on YouTube, if I'm right today. And then people across Africa are registering.
Okay.
Till today, I think we're in the thousands.
So is it still open?
It was supposed to close on the 31st of July. But then because of this trip to Uganda for modern floors and everything, I said, no, since we will be here, we can create more awareness on this. Let's keep the portal open.
A bit longer.
Yes, a bit longer till the end of August so that whilst I meet beautiful people like you and you talk to your audience, they can also get to know and they won't feel like, oh, why is he now saying it after?
And we never got a chance.
Exactly. So portal is still open. They can still register. It's just a quick form. Ask them simple questions. And then when the portal closes, I'm not going to say how the show is going to work, but all I'm going to say is that it's going to be very exciting. It's not going to be your conventional way of what you've seen before, like Shark Tanks or Dragons Den. Not to take anything away from them, they've done a brilliant job, but we are going to connect it to the youth properly.
Okay.
We're coming up with things that will engage them because business is not just, like we've said earlier, it's not just an idea. It takes more. It takes resilience. It takes perseverance. It takes passion. It takes diving into deep ends. You need more characteristics, and you could be born with it or you could acquire it. So we're going to put them to tests and tasks, which are going to bring and show all these characters and traits in them for us to eventually select one person for each season, in which generally a season will represent a country.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That would be it.
That's exciting.
That would be, yes. And I'm funding this myself, no sponsors. I'm actually searching for sponsors to help us fund it better.
Yes.
But obviously, since it's a new initiative, you know how sponsors are. So I'm like, well, I'll dive in the deep end myself because I have to put my money where my mouth is.
Thank
right?
you. Many of these things also you just have to get started.
So, I mean, for me, I came to Uganda with 3 shoes. I'm not that excited. I'm not somebody that wastes money on things. You know what I mean? I'll take my own money, push it into it. Let's help the youth. And even if you don't end up emerging a winner, the exposure you're going to get from this can even go beyond what you're going to get.
And the networking that it will give you.
Big businesses have come out of some of these reality shows that they never even got funding, but someone sitting somewhere watched. And it's like, you know what, I see potential in.
And sometimes you're competing and you're looking at what other people are doing, and right there and then you're like, ooh, I see an opportunity.
Exactly, 100%.
You're very passionate about entrepreneurship.
Yes.
And I remember seeing something where you're saying if it could be taught even as early as primary school.
This is where the book comes in. You've hit the nail on the head. Because I get so agitated when my kids are going for career days and my kids want to dress up as doctors,
pilots, lawyers.
I mean, I have nothing against it, but
they're all important too.
I have to fight for my own. In this case, I'm standing in the entrepreneur lane. I'm like, why is nobody going on as an entrepreneur? We are the ones that create jobs.
Thank you. We need more job creators.
You are the ones that seek jobs. If all of you become job seekers, who is going to be the job creator? The government? How many people can the government employ? Why are we always putting pressure on the government? I was telling someone this morning, I said the government is like our parents. Their job is just to give us the basics, the shelter, and then the rest is up to us. We can't just be crying government day in, day out.
Oh gosh, are you sure you're not Ugandan?
What? No, I'm not Ugandan. I'm African.
Because, I think across the border.
Right, is that how Ugandans think?
As well.
Yeah, no, but it's just everywhere you go, it's the private sector that drives the economy.
Yeah.
If the private sector is booming, we give the taxes to the government. So we are the ones that, without us, the government nothing is happening to them. We are the ones that do importation, exportation. We control the economy.
And even if you're talking about the professionals, they will work for businesses owned by businesses.
I'm the one that when I catch a case, I employ a lawyer. I hire a lawyer. Do you get where I'm going with this? So that's why we need more entrepreneurs, because we are the ones that will also bring down this thing of unemployment. We bring it down. We employ people. They pay their taxes. They pay their contributions, their pensions, all these things. So we need to inspire more. So I said, okay, let me write a small book, because my daughter recently graduated from high school. I got invited to be the guest of honor. I said, no, let me quickly put together a small piece, 60-something pages. I know these days we're in a new world. We don't want to read a lot.
People don't want to read huge volumes.
Let me make it simple. I'm not selling it. Let me just give it out to all the graduates. Wherever I go, wherever I speak, wherever I meet young people on any platform, I will give it out. I'm working on getting onto digital platforms. Download for free.
Oh,
yeah, like
okay. Because I was going to ask next question: how do we get a hold of a copy?
I'm not trying to make money from I'm not one of those people that said they started business $1 and they're trying to confuse the whole world and scam them. No, that's not where I'm coming from. There, no, I'm not throwing shades at anybody too. But you can tell if you are a very discerning human being out there, you can tell when people are spewing lies to you. I'm not trying to sugarcoat something and just take from the left and pull from your right. No, that's not what I'm doing.
You said you came to Uganda with 3 pairs of shoes?
Yeah, because I want to wear casually, want to wear to the exhibition, and want to wear when I'm going back.
And I remember seeing, I think in also one of your interviews, you said you bought an iPhone just a few years ago.
Exactly. My first iPhone, I still use the 13
And
Pro.
then you have young people who are just straight out of school, and that's the thing they're focused on. They must have the latest iPhone.
My dear, I have nothing against them if they're focused on that. But if they start crying for source of funding for entrepreneurship, then I begin to have a problem with them.
And if you have no money, but you have...
Exactly. If you have money and you have an iPhone, big up to you.
Yeah.
But if you are crying for source of funding, because that statement actually came out of me interacting with some of the ladies that work for me in my showrooms. And I kept telling them, why can't some of you franchise our brand and go on your own? You've worked with me for so long. You know the business even better than I do sometimes. You could do it. And like, oh, Mr. Basil, we don't have capital. Then I begin to just look at them. And I said, but you have an iPhone, don't you? The iPhone is $1,000. Oh, but, and I'm like, why can't you do $200 Android manage? And then I look at their hair. Like, but your weave is another $800 or something.
Then you have the lashes, and then
Mr.
sometimes
Basil is part of
the
life.
face
I'm like,
beads.
no.
If you're feeling attacked, good.
I'm like, don't feel attacked if you have no entrepreneurial passion.
Yeah.
Nobody's attacking you. But if you're complaining of funding, I think I need to set that point straight. I'm not attacking. Women need to look good. People need to use their best devices. Point.
We understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, you get where I'm coming from. But if you are crying foul that you don't have the source of funding to do a business, but you are carrying and wearing the funding all over you, then there's a problem with
That's
that.
a good point. That's a good point. Because a lot of people, even while I was asking about the 3 pairs of shoes, a lot of people and young people are so focused on living the flashy life, looking, because online, it's also about how you present yourself. So you have to look the part, look like you're living the life. And it's just not realistic.
No.
It's putting so much pressure on people. So it's a matter of going back to what's really important.
Yes.
What is really important?
Yeah. Your choices. You need to remember you came to the world alone, you die alone. All these people you are impressing probably don't even like you. Most of the times, they don't like you. Yeah, so do what makes you feel good.
So you give some tough talks sometimes.
I'm straight to the point. I know it's a very sharp sword, but it is what it is. And because everybody's always complaining, and the reason you're complaining is exactly the same thing you're doing. So why are you complaining? Check yourself.
Yeah, okay. So speaking of like women, young women, I think that's a good point, because I won't lie to you, I see it all the time as well. Very focused on material things, focused on making an impression as well. Do you feel like there's so many, opportunities for young women as well?
Yes. Personally, I even find the young women who work for me more loyal than the young men. Yes. Women tend to actually exhibit better qualities when it comes to money management, transparency, a lot of things when it comes to work.
Why do you think that is?
I guess it's probably genetic. Maybe it's just a build-up in them. Maybe because women are nurturers. Women are, they give life. So I tend to actually even have a better trust in my female employees than the males. So women need to be given more opportunities. I give women a lot of opportunities. I recently, last year, collaborated with an organization to train female artisans in the northern part of Ghana on how to do tiling with modern floor products. You can search on it online.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
I've done 2 sessions of that. We've trained at least maybe 40 girls in the north. I'm all about. I
Are you
understand.
going to be doing something like that as well
If
here?
the opportunity comes up, yeah, why not? I'm for women empowerment. I have nothing. All those conversations about. For me, I just believe we're all unique in our way, and you do you, I do mine, and all those conversations, those crisscross conversations, they are not necessary. Women can be empowered. Women can do whatever they want to do, and support them, because they actually even do it better sometimes than we do. Let's be honest, and this is not because you're a woman. This is truth. This is where I come. I
Your
stand.
experience.
Yes, where I experience and where I stand. Yeah, maybe yes, men are physically built stronger. Yeah, but give and take, we all have what we're great at, and we all have what makes us unique, and that's it.
No, I've heard over and over again, especially about money management, that women tend to be better,
Yes.
because also men maybe have a higher appetite for risk
Probably.
as well,
Yeah.
but women tend to want to keep things safe.
Yeah, I think there should be more women in government protecting like our government institutions. Yeah, because they would manage it better. And they are less easily compromised. Men, in quotes, are always like doing things that they need more money for. Do you get what I mean? So I don't want to get into it, but I think
Now, I understand what you're talking about, the loyalty aspect.
yeah, yeah,
Generally, better, more money, another opportunity, it's easier to.
I've seen very, very, very successful companies. I mean, maybe a male owner, a male CEO, but a female director, a female CFO in charge of finance. you see the company operating very well. Yeah.
Okay. So that takes me to you then as a father. You said your oldest has just graduated
Yes,
high
she's
school. Your
Rosita.
daughter.
Rosita is she's going to be 15 this year. So yeah, she's almost 15. Yeah.
Uh-huh. How many daughters do you have?
3.
Okay, 3 girls, 2 boys.
Yeah.
Okay. So also, when you talk about women empowerment, I'm like, there's a bit of also.
It actually, I'm not being biased because I have daughters.
But
maybe it's because I was raised by a woman.
Also. Oh,
maybe.
oh,
I don't know.
yes.
Just maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, just maybe.
Did you have much of a relationship with your dad?
Not really. Not
Okay.
really. Growing up, one of those dads that you literally have to pray 2 years before he calls the phone once. Yeah.
Has that? Do you feel like it's affected you?
Yes, it has, and maybe that is why I'm too blunt, because it taught me that I learned early in life that nothing is handed over to you on a silver platter. So I don't let things cloud me. I'm straight to the point because I lived that early life of being clouded, being hopeful. Don't worry, your father will call. Oh, don't worry, your dad will come and visit you. My father never stepped a foot in Ghana. You know, I'm like, and I went to the UK a couple of times. I met him a few times, you know. But I grew up. Oh, you come to Ghana? He never came.
Okay.
So I quickly I got to learn that just let me face my realities. Do you guys have a local dialect for something similar like that? Like maybe facing your realities quick and knowing that this is what the outcome is better than being hopeful. Is there any local proverb? Because we have something like that in Ghana.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
No, I can't think of one.
You can't, yeah.
Oh, what is yours?
Well, we have something, if I do a direct translation from English,
Can you just say it in the...
Okay, well, in Ghana, this is Ghanaian dialect, it says, Atreleni Giono Mra Ohirio.
Okay.
English translation, the punch that belongs to you, the quicker you take it, the better for you.
So no sugarcoating?
Pointless.
Well, yeah. Well, I guess that's also the rosy tint of youth. You can't, I guess the sooner you learn what life is really all about.
And you don't waste time on unnecessary things, because most meetings, most interactions I have, people that want to talk to me, I don't say, oh, can we book a meeting with you? I'm like, can we talk now? We're talking, let's talk. Oh, okay, but this, and I'm like, no. I'm like, yes. I'm like, so what was the point of the procrastination?
So you're also one of those people, you don't like meetings, I'm sure.
Not really. I probably do I do a lot of phone meetings.
Some of them are such a waste of time. I'm so sorry. Some of them really are.
We are in a new generation. We have technology. We have Zoom. We have Google Meets. What's with you want to meet me? Come to what's that?
What's it about?
I don't even have an office. I don't have an office. I don't want one. Forbes interviewed me a couple of months ago in Ghana. So can we come to the office? I said, I don't have an office. I roam around all my locations and I sit in the locations and I see what's happening in the business. I don't want to sit behind the business and not know what's going on. So okay, so I said we can set up the stage in the showroom and you can talk to me there.
That can be.
But I don't want an office where I'm sitting there, knock knock, who's there? Can we come and see you? Feeling like a big man. No.
So you also like that freedom and flexibility.
Yeah.
Which comes with being an entrepreneur in many ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So it's quite exciting. A lot happening. A lot happening. I'd like to take you back to entrepreneurship because I know you're really, really passionate for you. What are some of the things that we can do differently? Because you mentioned if possible, and I think you're right. We should have some of these things taught from a young age.
We should.
Just like we used to have some basics like home economics and everything that have now been phased out. Those were so important because those were basic skills that any person needs, in life. So what are some of the other things that you think can be done differently to help young people?
Yeah. Well, we have ministries like youth and sports, all these. I don't know if you have some here, but we have them in Ghana. The education service, they need to push it into the schools. They need to make it policy. They need to make it mandatory. Just like the way we had things like Boy Scouts, and nowadays schools have ballet classes and all that. We need to push in. Did you guys ever have something like a writers and debaters club?
Yes, the debate club we still
Do
have.
they still have?
Yes.
We need entrepreneurship
But
club.
I tell you what, I'm sure so many schools don't have them anymore.
Probably.
Even sports, we are really failing, I have to say.
We need to reintroduce those things because we are really falling behind. Everywhere now, Ghana is even afraid to play the weakest teams we used to play. You know what I'm saying? We used to be a big football nation. Now nobody knows about us again because we're not investing in those things. And there's human capital. Sports is good investment. It brings good money to countries. The youth, we need to. I'm always pleading for our leaders to engage some of us more, because I feel like they see what some of the quote unquote youth are doing online and they apply that to all of us that we are not serious.
Oh,
Do you get it?
Yes.
Because some people are all they're doing is dancing. All they're doing is doing unnecessary things.
yeah.
Dangerous, risky things online.
All these trends and
Yes. And then our leaders, our policy makers are probably sitting there and they feel like, oh, this is what these people are up to. Music is a big business in the world.
Yes.
Huge business. The movie is what the West has used to protect their narrative of who they are and what they are.
Thank you.
Hollywood.
Hollywood
Yes.
has sold
Exactly.
and
You think you can make a movie called Captain America without the clearance of the government? No, never. It's all part of it. But we Africans, we the youth who understand the business of these crafts and all these sports and all these clubs with entrepreneurship, because music is entrepreneurship.
yeah.
All these things, we need to engage our leaders respectfully more. They need to talk to us, and then we need to sit down, and then we need to guide them because they are older. They don't know much about these things.
Yeah.
And we need to prove on paper to them that this is a profitable venture, and if you support us, sometimes we don't need money from them. We just need them to tweak policies and tweak certain
Yes.
things for
Policy
us.
and regulation.
That's all we need from them. Things that will protect our interest.
Okay.
That
I
is
like
it.
I like that you said it's the business,
Yeah.
because many people look at it as, oh, like you said, either wasting time,
Yeah.
just having fun, just be out there doing whatever it is
Yeah.
you're doing. But there's a business
There is business.
to it.
Hip hop music was started from the street where people selling CDs from their boots. Today they've turned it into $1 billion industry.
Yeah.
From just playing music in your car with your friends standing at the roadside battling words. That actually
That's
supports the
evolution.
case of anything can be an idea.
Yes.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
And then now, to the extent that now there's different genres of music, some things you might not even relate to, but it's selling because it's business.
But-
Movie is business.
I like-
Sports, boxing, every sports. Now look at MMA. When we were growing up, MMA didn't exist. Now it's been turned into $1 billion empire.
And it's intense.
Yes.
I'll be honest. When I watch, I'm like this half the
And
time.
all
But
these bring revenue. We've moved the world needs to understand, especially Africa, that revenue is no longer the resources you knew. It's no longer gold. It's no longer your diamonds. Because take Ghana, for instance. Ghana's cocoa probably brings in maybe $3 billion a year. You're talking Tesla is making $100 and something billion, and you're telling me about your gold. I'm not having the problem. I'm just trying to tell you that Google probably, a search engine makes more money than your whole GDP. What does it tell you? It just tells you that the world has evolved.
it has.
And you need to sit with the younger people and figure out what's going on so that you can tap into it. That's all.
I mean, some of the biggest commodities now are what? Attention,
Yeah,
information.
Yeah.
That's where it really is.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So we need to appreciate the fact that the world evolves and evolve with it, and engage those who are at the grassroots and let them support. And that's why we are there. That's why people like me and you are there, so that we're always ready to sit with policymakers and do this engagement.
Because what you were saying, that sometimes people only see the trends, these TikTok trends, or the things that seem to be useless. They forget that anything and everything is out there,
Yeah.
especially online today. It's just a matter of what you're looking for. And I guess that's where the algorithms also come in. You
Yes.
have to be, I think most people aren't conscious
Yeah.
of their contribution to the algorithm.
Yeah. And you need to also know that some of these contents, some of these platforms, their algorithms are set to favor their interest better than you sometimes. And I'm not going to back this with facts because even they will not back this with a fact. But there are some countries that certain contents trend more to keep you unproductive.
Yeah.
They know it, and that's why a lot of them have invested in these platforms.
It is a form of control
yes,
as well.
This is why USA was heavily trying to shut down TikTok.
Yeah.
In the USA, because for once they knew somebody was playing their same music with them, and they felt.
And why Facebook has been facing it
exactly
pretty hard.
And that's why you go to China, they are all blocked. Facebook doesn't work, Google doesn't work, nothing works.
Yeah.
Instagram, the whole Meta doesn't work with Google Sheets there. So that is where our leaders also come in. They need to sit down. You see, this is just like trade.
Policy.
It's just, and it's negotiation. You sit down with them and you say, listen, you guys are messing with my audience. I'll shut you down. You lose X revenue. Or you change this and we talk. Everything's negotiation in the world. What they were doing was trade negotiations with commodities. Now we're in the digital space. That is why now African countries are being opened for monetization for Facebook, because your leaders have gone to negotiate deals and now the space is opened. That's how it works. That's a step in the right direction. We need to also start talking about the kind of content being fed to us.
Yeah.
And we can also dictate what content we want to be fed to us.
Because to be honest, most of the content being pushed our way is not even local content.
No.
You have to go out of your way to search
They
for
claim
your
it's
local
algorithm, but not entirely. These are things they want. You go to Japan and kids are seeing how to produce matchsticks, how to make a this, but we never see anything productive.
Unless you go looking for it.
Do you get what I'm saying? And I'm not saying we shouldn't see fun things, because life is a balance.
Yes, of
but
course.
we should have a balance whereby we see productive things and then we see funny things and things that make us laugh and get us loose, you know?
Yeah. Okay. Basil David Anthony.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure.
I know I have
Been
to
a
let you
pleasure.
go, but
Yeah.
this was fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you to your audience for watching also.
I'm looking forward to hearing more about basically modern flooring. Is it modern floors?
Modern floors, yeah.
Modern floors.
Yeah.
But it is modern flooring.
Same
Isn't
thing.
it options?
It's just the adjective of the noun.
So, okay, so you said the expo is this weekend,
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
this weekend. So make sure you pass by, check out the different options. And for someone who's watching you now, and I've really enjoyed this conversation, I have to say.
Thank you so much.
How can we get to know more? I mean, you
Well,
mentioned the book is going to be available online.
Yes. For Modern Floors, if you go to modernfloorsglobal.com, you just select which country, and then you can follow all the socials. If you want to stay in touch with what I do and when my reality show and my books will come out, is Basil David Anthony on all social networks, and it's also basildavidanthony.com.
Okay.
So once you type Basil David Anthony in Google, everything of mine pops up, and then we can stay in touch. And then we connect. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask as we wrap up.
Sure.
Your time in Uganda so far, what are your impressions?
I like what I see. I think there's a lot of room for improvement, just like everywhere else. And I want to invite a lot of investors to come into spaces like this, because wherever there's a lot of space, there's a lot of improvement. That's where there's a lot of business opportunity. When you go where it's already ready-made, there's too much sharks in the sea. So come here and then see for yourself what opportunities you find in Uganda. Ugandans are very welcoming. Everybody speaks English in Uganda. You know, so communication is not going to be a problem for you. If you're African from West Africa, trust me, the food is the same. I've not had an issue with the taste of food.
Really?
Everything I order.
So you're not big on spicy food, though?
We
Because I
are,
feel
but
like
your
we're
food
not
is
so big on spicy,
yeah,
but
everything I've had is
it's
averagely spicy. Like I've not even requested for it to be made extra spicy. So we are one continent. We need to break these borders down. We're not different.
Okay.
I travel a lot, and I keep telling everybody we are not different. We're the same. I even told you your name sounds like a Ghanaian name. Yeah, we're not. It's just these borders. Let's tear down the borders. Let's make African travel seamless. Let's airlines, please do something about your rates for inter-Africa travel so that Africans can move freely. Leaders, please work on our visa policies within Africa. I was so happy my Ghanaian passport comes here visa free. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's a very good point.
Yeah.
Travel across to another continent is cheaper than to travel to West Africa.
Exactly.
Which is ridiculous. Yes.
They know why. Let's leave it to them to work on it.
Needs to happen.
Yeah, we just plead with them respectfully to do it for us. So
like
that we can encourage more.
Respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully. You know.
Yes.
They are our fathers and mothers.
Yes.
So whatever happens, they're still in charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
So remember to get all the information you need. I mean, you've been online, I guess, for as long as, you know, technology is something that you've used to assist you in everything that you do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you for writing the book.
It's been a pleasure.
Can I just say, because what you said about people will reach out to you and you have so much to share, this is one of the best ways to go about it.
Thank you.
So if you get this online as well, brilliant. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.